Hello guys and welcome to Vlogging Project. It's your favorite YouTuber Tony here. Now I've done something that I've never done for the last couple of years, and that is buying a brand new phone. Simply because phone prices are absolutely crazy right now. We're looking at just under £1,000 for a conventional flagship and over £1,000 for the foldable phones. I'm not that mad and I'm not that rich to buy foldables. So what I usually do is I buy second-hand Oppo phones, X flagships like the X3 Pro, X2 Pro, X and X3 of course. Over here when they're usually 1 or 2 years old, between 200 and 300 pounds, simply because I like the cameras and I like the overall Oppo software. Now I've never had a Vivo iQOO phone before, and as far as I'm aware, the iQOO series is something like what DS used to be for a Citroen, a little bit more upmarket kind of a flagship grade products, while still under the Vivo brand. Now in the UK the Vivo brand has absolutely no presence whatsoever. As far as I'm aware, they're very popular in India and in China, so the software is Chinese. However, the phone came with Google Play pre-installed, so I'm not worried about that whatsoever, considering my Oppo Find X3 is a China exclusive phones, and considering a few quirks, I can definitely live with that. It's not an issue. Now, to begin with, why did I even bother buying a Vivo phone and importing it from China? Simply because I was looking for a gaming phone, and I'm not that stupid. I'm not gonna buy a Nubia Red Magic for £800 with not ready software yet, considering they're on their 8th generation. Now I've reviewed the first two, I think something like that. So this one popped up. How I got to this phone, I'll tell you a little bit later on, but essentially guys, this is the cheapest at the market Snapdragon plus, no, wait a second, Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 phone. Now, I was really shocked to discover that actually we are dealing with throttling and overheating in 2023, guys. Now it's 2024. Of course, just barely made it through 2023, but guys, back in the day, Snapdragon messed up with Snapdragon 808 and 810, screwing up the Nexus 6P series, the LG G4 and a bunch of other phones pretty much. And after that, they've learned their lesson and they were making excellent phones up until the Snapdragon 870 pretty much. And after that, Snapdragon 888, oh my god, throttling, overheating. The Gen 1, the same thing, throttling, overheating. And the Plus version, they're still overheating, but at least it doesn't throttle. So essentially guys, this phone for £250, check this out, £250 for a Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 chipset. This is absolutely mind-blowing price wise. Now they do another version, the iQOO Neo 8 Pro, which has the MediaTek Dimensity 9200, something like that, more powerful than this one, but it throttles like crazy, so stay away from that. Value for money, £250, you absolutely got it. Now I couldn't resist. I already taken it out of the box and set up a few things. I'm not ready with the full review, but I'm gonna give you the specifications and tell you why exactly I needed to buy this phone, guys. So when I do the unboxing, just play along with me and act surprised. But yeah, the box is absolutely amazing. Check this out, guys. The box is absolutely amazing. I'm gonna cover the IMEI number, just in case you're a crazy Russian hacker and want to duplicate my EMEI, which is which is a little bit ironic, simply because there was a scandal. As far as I know, there was a scandal before with Vivo phones, like 15,000 phones that they were produced with the same IMEI number, but nevertheless, I'm not gonna talk about that now. I bought the phone on the 28th of December and I got it delivered like 4 days later. More on that a little bit later on. However, check this out. This phone was produced on the 22nd of December, guys. That's when it left the factory, and I bought it just 6 days old. Now, this phone is not that old. Actually, it is released in May 2023, but they discounted it now simply because they've got the new 9, which is of course way more expensive than this one. So let's get the unboxing out of the way, guys. I'm gonna leave it on the side over here. What do we have in the box? We have the silicone case over here. We have the manual, 120 watt charge I think it's the fastest in the world at the moment. USB-C to USB-C cable and SIM ejection too. Pretty much that's it. You've got the basics covered. And now it's time for the phone itself, guys. Really, really nice looking phone. Let me show you to where a second is pressing the buttons over here. Anyway, check this out. When I took it out of the box, my wife was like, oh, you bought an orange phone. And I was like, no, 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 that's red. According to them, that's red. But according to my eyes, that's more like a, you know, squash tomato, which was not red yet. So it is what you see on the camera, guys. It's kind of orange, which, you know, I don't mind. I really like the carbon fiber accent over here on the metal. iQOO logo over here is kind of, it's kind of, you can't tell from the camera, but it's kind of pink inside, which is a little bit weird. But nevertheless, I don't understand the iQOO. Why do you pronounce this iQOO? And that's definitely a power on off button over here, and after that two O's. Nevertheless, and over here Neo, time to play. Just a little hint that that's actually a undercover, you know, incognito gaming phone, which I'm very happy to confirm. And overall, the build quality is amazing, guys. You have this metal build over here, dual SIM slot, microphone, stereo speakers. One of the speakers is over here, the other one is over there. You have the camera at the front. Over here, guys, you have the air blaster. Back in the day, we just used to call this infrared, which is essentially, back in the day, it was used for transferring contacts, text messages between phones. And Siemens came up with the idea over 20 years ago with the SL, you know, I think it was SL55, which you can transfer ringtones and, you know, photos and GIFs, essentially wallpapers, through this infrared port. It used to take ages, it was very slow and painful, but if you didn't have Bluetooth at the time, because it was luxury and not many phones had that, and if you had a Siemens, that was the way to transfer, you know, the ringtones. Good old days, good old days. But essentially now it's a remote control. You can prank your colleagues. For example, in my workplace, the canteen, they're blasting the TVs on maximum volume for whatever reason. It's really annoying. They won't sort it out. I already spoken to them. So next time I'll go to work with this phone, guess what I'm gonna do? So yes, the phone aside, let me go through the specifications real quick. I know it's already 7 minutes into the video, but nevertheless, guys, you can see them, you know, with some editing magic over here. Vivo iQOO Neo 8, 6.78-inch AMOLED screen, 144 Hz, 1300 nits, very bright panel. Resolution is between 4K and Full HD. Essentially is 1260 by 2800, which I'm very happy with. The panel is flat, by the way. It is not curved. You know, some people prefer the flat panel, some people prefer the curved. I personally prefer the curved. I believe they add a little bit of, you know, luxury build overall to the quality, but nevertheless, this is a flat panel. Now, in terms of memory, 256 gigs on board. That's the base version. There's more on the other versions, but they're a lot more expensive. 12 gigabytes of RAM plus an additional 8 gigs of software boosted RAM, which is fine. In terms of cameras, very interesting setup over here, guys. The rear camera, one of them, is a 50 megapixel Samsung sensor S5 KG-N5, which can be found in the you know, Samsung Galaxy S22 and S23, which means that you have a flagship camera over here. The other camera is just for aesthetics. It's a 2 megapixel unit. I really have no idea why did they even bother, but I guess just to add 2 cameras instead of 1, which would have been weird. At the front we have a 16 megapixel Samsung sensor, S5K3P9, used in a bunch of phones. By the way, the phone had a factory applied screen protector, which I'm very happy with. And finally, the battery, 5000 milliamp hours, 120 watt charger, 70% in 16 minutes and full charge in 28 minutes, and all of that 256 pounds, guys. I'm gonna show you my affiliate link over here. That's where I bought from Giztop, some geezers in China which offer you know, FedEx fast worldwide shipping for 25 quid. It's a little bit expensive, but it saves you on the import the charges and taxes. So yeah, I'm gonna link this in the description down below with a few discount codes. Total, I think I've paid £263 or something like that. Let's call it £260. If you're buying it, pay in dollars and use a Revolut card or the equivalent fee-free card, otherwise it's more expensive. However, guys, £260 for essentially a brand new gaming phone with a flagship chipset, it can't get any better than that. And very quickly, check this out. Face unlock is on board, is very quick. You didn't even see that coming. Check this out, guys. Other than that, we have the fingerprint reader over here, which is really nice. And this software, I'm actually surprised, guys. There's so many options, it is unbelievable. I'm not gonna go through all that because it's gonna take me all day pretty much, but guys, there are so many options. It is very similar to the Oppo and the Realme devices, but with more options, which is crazy. As I said, the phone came with Google Play pre-installed overall. Check this out. You've got the Play Store over here, and the Google applications and services are baked in the phone. So check this out. Although it's a China exclusive or at least Asia exclusive phone, the amount of bloatware is absolutely minimal. There's pretty much, well, nothing over here. You've got Vivo App Store, I can imagine. You've got their wallet equivalent, lens kit, feedback, and pretty much that's it. And some weird browser, and pretty much that's it, guys. You've got no bloatware. iMessage, okay. Mood, okay, there are a few, but it's like on my Oppo there are 5 times those, and I had to disable some, and some of them wouldn't disable and stuff like that. So why did I even bother buying this phone? This is the main question, guys, and this is the answer over here. If you're not aware of this benchmark, Wildlife Extreme Test, it runs for 20 minutes and it checks your phone throttling and heating for those 20 minutes. Now, let me get this straight, guys. I was perfectly happy with my Oppo Find X3 because I wasn't doing any gaming or very light gaming, on occasion, and I was perfectly fine with that. This phone is very stable as well. Let me show you. Check this out, guys. Check this out, the stress test. That means that the phone, although it heats up, is very stable and it doesn't drop almost nothing. Stability 99.5% over here, but the overall score 12,000. And the reason that I'm showing you all this is, if you used to play Flat Out series back in the day, shout out to you. This means that you're old, officially. But there's nothing wrong with that. Bugbear Entertainment came up with Wreckfest, another amazing Destruction Derby game. And basically, guys, what it is if you try to play it on the maximum settings, you will struggle with the Snapdragon 870. You need something more powerful. And although it's very stable, it's very nice, you're not playing on the full 60 or 30 FPS or whatever, you can see some occasional frame drops over here, guys. So what I thought was, because there's the Oppo Find X3, yeah, I thought that the logical thing to do is to buy the more powerful version of this phone, the Oppo Find X3 Pro, and I thought that that's the solution. Plus this one had 256 storage compared to the 128, and I thought, okay, more storage, pretty much the same price, just over £200, which is pretty much the best value for money phone right now, running the Snapdragon 888. And I didn't do my homework before, and I didn't know that this chipset overheats. Simple as that. And I started playing the game on the maximum settings. I was very happy the first few minutes, and after that, boom, it was unplayable. And check this out, that's the behavior of this phone. Pretty much you're using your 100% of the GPU only the first 1 minute. Then you're using, let's say, 90%, which is perfectly fine. And then after 10 minutes, the throttling kicks in, guys. And from 1450, you're going down to 834, which is worse than actually this one, which makes the game pretty much unplayable. For lighter games, you're not gonna have any issues, but for heavy games, you've got a problem. And now, I did my homework. I bought the Xperia 1 Mark III, the phone that I'm currently filming with, and it was even worse than that. After 5 minutes, it was absolutely unbearable to play the game. It was even worse than the Oppo, and I was like, okay, what do I need to do? I did my research this time. Snapdragon Gen 1, absolutely the same thing, more powerful, but it overheats all the time and it throttles, not a good idea. And the next best thing was Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1, found in the phone over here. And as you can see, excellent results, guys. 92% stability, which is one of the best gaming phones on the market right now. As you can see, the decline is very, very minimal, which means that you're working with, check this out, between 2800 and 2500. You're working with, guys, 95%, over 90%, essentially 92% of the potential of the phone. It gets very hot, of course, but it doesn't throttle, guys. And because the battery is big, you're not suffering too much over there at all. So overall, I think I found a solution. Instead of spending 800 pounds on a Nubia, Red Magic, or Asus, whatever the name was, gaming phones, this is the solution, guys. Vivo iQOO Neo 8. By the way, I forgot to mention that some sort of a vegan leather, as they call it, is really interesting and nice, and definitely more durable than real leather. The accents over here, the carbon fiber accents, I really enjoy. There's another sensor, the flash is big, by the way, and it's quite powerful, which is a surprise. So overall, I can't really complain, guys. I really don't see what's wrong with this phone. Now, for 260 quid, considering that they have quite a lot more expensive versions, up to 100 pounds, you know, with the newer chipsets, with the high resolution screens, with the more sophisticated cameras, yes, that's fine, but I think this one got the basics done, guys. I mean, 5000 mAh, Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1, that's very difficult for me to say, 256 gigs of storage, 50 megapixel Samsung flagship camera, 16 megapixel. Guys, I mean, you've got the whole package over here. Of course, you're missing the telephoto, you're missing the wide angle cameras, but overall, I believe that this phone is absolutely worth even 400 pounds, to be honest with you. But for 260, I couldn't resist, and there we go. In the next few weeks, I'm going to work on the review, but in the meantime, if you're like me and you can't really resist, Giztop got you covered, guys. These guys are legit. They're shipping the phone in less than a week. Is delivered to your door without any additional charges. So these guys are legit, guys. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. That is today's video. Thank you very much for watching. It was a little bit long, but I had to give you all the information that I had to explain to you why I've bought a brand new phone. Otherwise, I wouldn't have. And to be honest with you, 260 quid, you can buy the Find X3 Pro, you can buy the Find X5, but for heavy gaming, I'm very sad to say, but these phones are not made for that, and Snapdragon did it again. Yoo-hoo! So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I'm gonna see you in the next video. Adios.